when I tendered my resignation at the bank, I can remember my manager laughing at me, and he was like, 4th of December, I got married. My partner then told me, it's fine, go away. I got everything under control. Come back 6 days, shop is closed. To win an award for top service brand, for best brand in the country.
I remember people eating dog food. What do you think is the cause?
So, for example, if you don't have hair here, and your hair is short, you are able to look like you have hair.
Pat. It's Pat on Brands.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Pat on Brands podcast with Pat, and she's not here today. Boomy. Today's episode is legendary. You know, we're talking with the legend himself, Sheldon Tatchell.
Yes.
I had to think about it. I had to make sure that I get the surname right. The surname, it tends to throw me off, man. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm great, and you, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome, man. Yes. How have you been? It's been a crazy year. I know in your space, things are hectic, but you still find the time to come through to our podcast. I appreciate that.
No, thanks a lot. I think... especially the type of conversation that we had coming into the podcast was that things are not the same, but you have to always be agile and move around things.
Absolutely.
And always think of the next thing in terms of how you want to innovate, how you want to be more creative in the space that you play.
Great, man. And I mean, Legends, we've seen it everywhere. Online, you've got over 1 million followers on Instagram.
It's crazy that million followers actually came the time when we won the 2 awards. That's the same night. That's so crazy.
It's crazy. Actually, we're going to talk about that in a bit. But, you know, the story of Legends Barber. I mean, you were working at a call center for like 6 years. You were there.
Yes.
And one morning you woke up and said, no, I'm going to cut people's hair. Was that the case?
Yeah, I think it wasn't necessarily the case. I've been cutting hair since the age of 14 years old. Mm-hmm. I think barbering was always the thing that I leaned towards, as I just enjoyed having to see smiles on people's face. Yeah. And it was much more about how they felt and how they looked. And that was more exciting to me than anything else. And working in corporate, it just gave me some sort of base because many people look at corporate as you know, this is a downfall. You're not supposed to. But
you must be your own boss and you must be in
stuff like that. Yeah. But it's not the case. I mean, so many lessons from corporate, so many things that I have applied in my business as well. As soon as I started. I thank God for giving me that base, because if it wasn't for that base, I wouldn't know where I would be.
But what would you say is that one big lesson that, you know, being corporate taught you?
I think...
you learned, rather.
Corporate taught me just to look at things differently, you understand? Mm-hmm. Because if you look at where I was placed in, I was basically calling you each and every day, calling different people each and every day and asking them to pay their accounts. Understand? So that was my job. I was a debt collector. I was that guy that used to bother people. And
I would say,
that guy,
if you showed up at people's doors, you know, that was going to be a different ballgame. Look at those guns. That was going to be something else.
It will be something else. No, but I mean, like, that job specifically, I learned so much, man. I learned emotional intelligence in that job because now somebody's swearing you on the phone, telling you, and you just have to calm down. Have that same thing. Yeah. You understand? Just being able just to...
Because you're very calm. I must say, you're not like a rah-rah guy like Pat. And it's just, you know, down to earth. Yeah. Is that something you learned at corporate, or that's how you are?
I think corporate has taught me much more emotional intelligence than anything else. The humble and humility side comes much more from a Christian background, because we all know that when Jesus Christ came to serve and not to be served, you understand? It's that whole mentality. Yeah. But I think it's much more about if you look at what corporate has done through me specifically was just the lessons that I could implement in a business. I actually shared a post not so long ago about me before I worked in in Standard Bank. My first job was actually working at a place called Lewis Stores.
Lewis Stores, selling furniture.
Sell furniture. and during that job, I used to earn 50 Rand a day. And with that 50 Rand a day, that was my base. Basically, I calculated if I make 250, I can maybe, if I work each and every day, 50 Rand for 6 days, I can, in 2 weeks' time, I can buy me a Nokia 3310.
Was it during those times?
Yeah, it was during those times. It was during those times. But it was also a lesson, you understand? And it's also so important that you learning as you go, and you understand. I think it's invaluable lessons that you go through. You understand? You can never just rise and say, you know what, I want to become this type of guy. It's fine, you can have that ambition, but where are you learning from? Who is mentoring you? Who's giving you that?
Awesome. Speaking of mentors, do you have any mentors? Do you have people that you have on speed dial that have made it in business that you say, hey, I'm stuck now.
Yeah.
How can I get through this rut?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's people that's played a huge role in my life, and people that's actually come through being customers to still being there for me. So whenever I need advice, whenever I'm looking to do something, I always contact somebody that's an expert in that space.
Nice.
And I think it's so important that you have the expert in that space. Because you can't be talking to a business person about your marriage. It's like now what's happening here now?
You'll say, leave that thing, man.
Leave that thing. Just divorce it.
Time, go make money. Got you.
So I definitely have good mentors in different areas of my life.
Awesome stuff. But also, I mean, at what point, you say, okay, Legends is the thing, and this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. What was that,
The shift.
What happened? Who came? Whose head did you cut? And you're like, okay, there's something to which I'm starting.
So just a quick background. So I started cutting hair. So while I was working at my corporate job, I was cutting hair on a stoep in Rado Park. So my cousin had an internet cafe, and I asked him if I can make use of his shop during weekends. He agreed because the landlord is not around. And I wasn't working on weekends, you understand?
Sure.
So weekends was the time when I used to cut hair, Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. And while just having a clipper chair, I saw people come through. And this was around 2011, July. Mm-hmm. And people came in and were sitting in front. And I'm always asking myself, what makes me different? What's the thing that makes me stand out? Like right across the road from me, there's a barber. Right next to him, there's a barber. Yeah. Right next to the other guy. You understand? It's so filled with barbers across. And
are you all charging the same price?
Charging the same price, no big difference. I mean, like for me, I never saw my haircut to be any special. You understand? My haircut wasn't like the haircut to go for. Yeah. You understand? And that was me. But I wondered why people came to come sit on my chair. What made me so special?
Sure.
And I done some investigation, went out to these barbers, saw what they were doing, and come back to my chair. I then realized what made me different. Mm-hmm. And the thing that made me different was...
You're not clapping the kids.
The one thing that made me different is building a relationship with each and every customer.
Wow.
So when I say building a relationship, I know it sounds so vague, but one thing that I took seriously was after each and every customer, I would have a notebook and a pen, and I would write down, I'm cutting Pat, and this is a conversation that we had, X, Y, and Z. That's with each and every customer. Next time Pat comes sits on my chair again, I would make reference to that conversation we had.
Hey, I remember you were saying the other day, how did it go? You had an interview.
Yes,
wow.
Of course. And that's because if you think about the haircut only lasts 3 days. Just to be frank, there's nothing as special as that. But the feeling that you have inside makes a huge difference. I mean, like once I make you feel good, then you're definitely going to want to come. Even though the haircut is not world class, but you want to come back. And I think that's when I realized what makes the difference. Yes. And at 2011, we then moved. Things got quite busy. I had a friend of mine that also could cut hair. I just come on board and just make you a partner and shake. Just come on board, come help me with this.
Yeah.
Let's work. And we moved into a rented premises, not far from, unleased premises, not far from where we were. And what happened, things got to pick up and we got local guys from a community.
Yeah.
Guys came in, we taught them how to cut hair.
Yeah.
Business was booming. We launched 1st of September around there, 2011. Things just grew.
Yeah.
Back then, we never had a name for the barbershop. It was only called the Barbershop.
Wow.
Everyone just knew it was just the barbershop. And one thing that people don't know is that the word Legends actually came from us going out to our old people in the community and going to go cut their hair because they're the legends of our community. So this is something we've done on our quiet days, and we've done this consistently.
Lie.
And that's why.
So from the onset, you're always like community orientated.
Yes.
You always looked out or looked after the elders.
Yeah.
So that was something from
there. Yeah, it's a core.
Sure.
It's a core where things started, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why Legends exist. Legends exist to make a difference in the communities. And if you look at the impact that it has, not only from making people feel good, and basically, I mean, like, Legends gives free haircuts at each and every store, wherever we are. There is a difference that Legends makes in a community. It's one of our mandates. You understand? To say that we're here to make an impact.
And you're not feeling like you're losing. You're like, all these haircuts, the machines, the wear and tear on the machine and whatnot.
Nah, it's much. It goes deeper than that. You understand? And once you realize what is your cause for what you're doing, that it's created and what you personally desire, and then you do something right.
Amazing.
And you're doing something right. So
you moved now to.
So we're now in this premises now, and I can remember I got married the 4th of December. It's my anniversary on Monday.
Wow. Great.
Yeah, so,
for those who don't know, we're recording on the 2nd of December. Yeah.
So 4th of December, I got married. My partner then told me, it's fine, go away. I got everything under control. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? The guys are cool.
Yeah, get married, go on honeymoon.
Go on honeymoon.
Yeah.
Come back 6 days, shop is closed. And I'm like, what's happening here? It's like, this is December, guys. It's supposed to be happening. Yeah, it's supposed to be happening. I called this guy, he never answered his phone.
This is your partner?
Yeah.
Your then partner?
Yes.
Sure.
I called this guy, never answered his phone. I then called the guys that was working at the store. And the guy just explained to me everything. He says, this guy never paid. First thing, he didn't pay the rent because it was it was one of those agreements that if you don't pay, you out.
Okay, yeah.
It's from the community. There's no contract.
There's no contract. There's no warning. There's no. You don't pay, you're out.
You're out. And he hasn't paid the rent, so the landlord put us out. And to make it worse also, you never paid the guys that was working there. The guys used to get paid on a daily basis. They used to get paid commission based on their daily earnings. And he never paid them that. And the shop just went down there. Stood in front of those
Imagine
doors.
From being happy from the honeymoon, now you're coming back. And
it was a crazy emotional journey.
Yeah.
And standing in front of those doors, disappointed, feeling like I let everyone down, including myself. I just stopped barbering right there and there. I never wanted to cut hair.
Hectic.
Never wanted to cut hair again.
And what made you turn around and say,
it's like,
let's do it again?
So I had phone calls, week in, week out. People ask me, please come cut. Wow. And I just decided, you know what? If something is meant for you, it will definitely come after you. Understand? It's
Absolutely.
like it's just one of those things. Like if it's meant for you, it will come through you. And eventually I gave in to the calling. Around 2013, I got my
an unleased shop. Were you working or you were just...
I was working.
Oh, you were working. It was weekend.
It was weekends.
Oh, okay.
It was a temporary thing. It was a part-time thing.
Okay.
It was a part-time thing, yeah.
So you got yourself a scooter?
Yes, got myself a scooter. And
you didn't do deliveries.
No, I didn't do deliveries. I was, people knew me as the mobile barber coming out to you. It was one of those things where I just had to be innovative, trying to think of, and I used to, people used to laugh at the fact that I told them that, you know what, during the day I'm so busy, I'm so packed during the day, but I can come to you at between 5 and 6, 7 o'clock. He says, nah, that's cool. And during the day, I was working.
Hectic.
I was working. So that was me getting into the swing of things, meeting different customers.
Did you sell the scooter? What happened to the scooter? It must be at one of your shops or at your head office.
So the crazy thing is that so the scooter was actually an accident because we wanted to continue this once we launched the first shop, but unfortunately it was an accident. And then we just
were you on it?
No. One of the barbers that was on it. Yeah. Wow. So what happened? How significant the scooter is that this was 2013. I went to this one customer's place. Drove all the way to 4 ways. All the way
on the scooter.
On the scooter.
From elders.
Yeah. So now I'm busy. I'm like my phone is ringing.
So wait. So now you going to 4 ways
all over.
How did the word get around?
Facebook.
Wow. Sure.
Facebook. I was the Facebook.
Barber.
I was a Facebook barber, mobile service. My card was on there, and and I used to just and word of mouth spread that this is your mobile barber. It'll come out to you.
Yeah. So you're on your way to 4 ways.
I'm on my way to 4 ways. The customer is trying to call me. I get to his boom gates. Obviously, I couldn't answer. I had a helmet on.
Yeah.
And I get
it wasn't one of those, because I've seen now the new motorbikes have actually Bluetooth headsets and
No, obviously I couldn't afford it. I was like, so I get to this customer and get to the boom gate. I called him and he was like, you know what, I've been trying to get all of you.
Yeah.
There's load shedding.
Hectic.
We can't cut it. So now I just lost out on a sale. I lost out on
petrol. Time.
All the way. I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
But while busy riding back home, I actually felt like God given me this vision. And this vision was being able to have a mobile bus fitted in with everything that you can imagine. From a generator, anything that's self-powered, and it just moves wherever, you understand? And it's not an inconvenience for people cutting in their homes, because the inconvenience of people cutting, sometimes we cut in the garage, sometimes we cut in the kitchen.
Yeah.
It's very unhygienic.
On a stoop.
And you understand? So now we get into the bus and we cut there.
Actually, I think I saw the same bus at Bushfire in Swaziland.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So I went back and I wrote down, started sketching this bus out, exactly how I envisioned it. And I was like, you know what, this has to be a Mercedes-Benz bus and it has to be top class, all of these things.
Fully spec.
I even had mags on there. I'll show you the sketch.
What?
And this was back 20.
If you can maybe send it to us and then the picture, and then we'll put it on the video.
Of course, I'll share it with you.
Great.
And there was only one problem. I didn't have money.
Hectic. You got this big dream, but you can't finance it.
No money.
And I know, I can imagine the pain though. It's just bad.
So the crazy thing is, Pat, it's like I'm cutting these guys hair.
Yeah.
All of these guys. I mean, like, I continue to cut all these rich guys, going to their houses and stuff like that on the scooter. And I'm explaining to them this dream. I'm telling them, they say, yo, this is wonderful. This is really next level. And all of these things. And I'm telling them, put something here, invest it. None of them wanted to. But I thank God for that. I mean, I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
5 years later, we launched the bus. 2017 September, we launched the bus, and exactly how I envisioned the bus to be. It took exactly 9 months for them to do the renovation of the bus. So we bought the bus in about Jan, Feb, and then we launched it September of 2017.
Yeah. And it was exactly how you envisioned it.
Exactly.
Do you still have it?
Oh, we still have it. We still have it.
Is it how many buses do you have now?
So we have that one bus. We have that one bus. We also have a staff bus as well. But one bus is...
Oh, it's the one that was in Bushfire. Exactly.
Yes, exactly like
wow.
that. So that bus goes wherever.
Yeah.
It's much more of a marketing tool. It promotes any events that you see, the bus will be there and stuff like that. But that was the... Imagine, space of 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
The time it took for that vision to come alive.
Amazing.
But anyway... The next
and it didn't owe anyone favors.
Didn't owe anyone favors. Yeah.
That's dope.
So the next year, 2014, I then decided, you know what, I'm going to go at it again. I decided to relaunch Legends on the 26th of July, 2014. And this was in Crystal Mall, the Eldorado Park. Decided to go at it again. And on my own, doing things differently and trying to figure out how to make much more of a difference. Managed to gain retrust of the guys that used to work with the previous stores. They agreed to come on board. Started out at that space, used basically my savings that I saved up from the bank, used my cash flow, planted into the business. When we launched a week later, I tendered my resignation at the bank. When I tendered my resignation at the bank, I can remember my manager laughing at me, and he was like, "What are you doing? Are you crazy upstairs? Why are you trying to do something?" And he was like, "You know what? Whenever you need your job, just call me and I'll arrange something for you."
I'm pretty sure now you can give him a job. Now you can say, "Come work for me."
But I never looked back from there. 2014 was the time we started.
In your heart of hearts that was the right decision to make.
This is it. I had that conversation with myself. I had so many doubters, so many people thinking that.
And your wife says, "Hey, we're gonna struggle now."
Yes, of course. My wife was definitely supportive, but obviously as a woman she was also working and she also made a sacrifice to say, you know what, it's fine, go. I'll try to manage things from my side. So at least having that type of support, I think, is very valuable, because all of the voices around you is just telling you, no, this is not a good thing. How are you going to do this? You understand? And I mean, like, as far as I can remember my dad also telling me, "Oh, what are you doing? You understand? This is not...
Are you leaving a job at a bank? Are you mad?
It's not conventional. Who does this? You live in a permanent job and just pursuing something that's fantasy." So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so that was the start, the relaunch of Legends, can I say?
Yeah.
And the vision was back then, when I started out to open 5 stores in 5 years.
Yeah.
And obviously we managed to do much more than that. And that was just taking it one step at a time. How we grew was we used the profits of one store.
Yes.
Grow it into,
so you didn't buy a Porsche?
No, so I didn't do anything. And basically using that type of snowball effect. So using some money, just growing, putting it back into stores. And that was the simplest way how we grew until we reached our 10th store in 2019 when we started franchising.
Sure. And Ricky, where did you meet him?
Yeah, so Ricky, I met Ricky when 2016, 2017. So this guy called me up. I know this guy, his name is Obi. Shout out to Obi. Yeah. So Obi is, back then, Legends used to the soccer players. I mean, like Orlando Pirates, Chiefs, Sundowns. We were, back then, we used to go to the training.
Oh, nice. So you went to Naturena?
We went all over, and basically to the hotels, and we went to go cut them all. And word got out, because it was like these guys are actually the guys that you should look out for. And Ricky noticed, and Obi is involved in the soccer fraternity, so he's that guy that's always connected with the guys on the ground. And he called me up and he was like, "You know what? I have somebody that wants to cut there, and he wants you to cut there. But can I give you him
Your numbers.
It's my number, yeah. I was like, okay, nah, that's cool. You can do that. Who's this? And he told me it was Ricky. And I was like, I mean, you don't even have to ask. You understand? It's but he gave Ricky my number, gave him the first haircut, and the rest was history.
Wow, amazing, man.
Yeah, I mean, like the difference, the one key difference that I mean, like from the first time I started cutting, Ricky was the type of person that I got to know.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I mean, like, as I am much more focused on relationship between customers, Ricky was 10 times that, you understand? Because he wanted to find out what's happening in my life and you know, and the relationship just grew from there. And we became so close to one another. He eventually got into the business, got a franchise, the first franchise, and that's when we started franchise 2019, and he franchised the Waterfall Corner store.
Amazing. So now, I mean, you almost, 70 stores, more or less, and how many of those are franchise?
So we do have about 45%, which is franchise, and 55%, which is company-owned. Yes.
Hectic, man. But what sparked the idea of franchising? You know, because one could have easily thought that, look, it's my thing, I'm just going to do it on my own.
Of course.
So I know at FASA, I spoke at a FASA conference and I said, do you know Legends Barber? Yes. Everybody said, yeah! So what?
So the idea behind franchise, I never wanted to franchise. I never wanted to have my business as a franchise.
Yeah.
It always came up. I mean, customers would constantly ask us, why don't you franchise? Why don't you do this?
I want to have this in my hood.
I want to do this. And I think the demand just grew where people from every areas, basically from all around, just wanted to be part of this brand. I can remember trialing it out and being Ricky to be the first one. I was so fidgety. I was involved in everything. I was like, this is how you must do it.
Because it's your baby,
it's
man.
It's your baby, man. Now you're letting it go. And I mean, like, but I mean, like, he played such a big role. Him and his wife played such a big role in building that store and doing so much work to that store that we eventually had to open the door for other people to come on board.
Nice.
And people started knocking, and we said, you know what, let's look into it. Let's start franchising. Let's see how we can get this. The one aspect that I feel is very important, that when you want to franchise your business, is that you have to understand that Sheldon can't be everywhere at all times. So you have to get similar people, like-minded people on board that understands the vision, because it's a different thing between an employee and a franchisee. Yes. The franchisee runs it as their own business.
Absolutely, yeah.
The employee is just there getting a monthly salary.
I mean, they know that by making X amount of sales, they make X amount of money. You know, they invested. They invested in it. So they want the ROI.
Yes, of course. And I mean, we've managed to grow such a successful network of franchisees. Yeah. We've seen guys coming through our system, not having anything to grow into 3 stores, just using the capital of the first store and reinvesting it into opening more stores. So it's really amazing. It's really amazing to see the growth and the possibilities that franchises have.
Obviously, you're working in a call center. One wouldn't say you were trained formally as a marketing person, but at what point did you realize that actually branding is essential whenever you're starting a business?
No, of course. I mean, I've always studied many brands. I've studied any brand that you can think about, from your McDonald's to your BlackBerry to your Nokias to all of the brands that is quite popular, and it was that the highs and lows of these brands and what made the brand become what it is. You understand? And if you're looking at a brand, the brand is basically you setting an example for a customer, and when a customer walks into your store, you actually exceeding the expectation. Wow. You understand? So that person creates a narrative of your brand.
So it's a promise made and a promise exceeded.
And that's exactly what it is. most people want to build brands, but not understanding that it comes down to the customer. The customer perceives your brand.
Yeah.
Nobody else. I mean, like I was walking yesterday in a clinic, and what happened was that I'm in a lift with this guy, and I had a T-shirt on, and this guy was like, you know what? I know Legends. Legends is a great barbershop.
Yes.
So I asked this guy, like, and he's a cleaner, and I asked this guy, like, where do you cut? He said, no, I can't afford to cut here, but I know Legends to be not Africa's biggest barbershop, but the world's biggest barbershop. And it was going on.
And he doesn't know who you are.
He doesn't know who I am. You understand? It's like just having this conversation. And it's all about the customer, you understand? Because customers start spreading the notion of the brand. And once that becomes the narrative, and then you get to build the brand.
Absolutely. I mean, even I've got a cousin, a young cousin, he stays back home where I grew up in the villages. And the first thing when he got to Joburg, he was like, I want to cut my hair at Legends. And it was in December last year at the Four Ways, because I live in that area. And he stood for 2 hours because there was a gang loads of youngsters. And he stood in the queue just to get his Legends cut. You know, it's just amazing.
That's amazing to see. It's really amazing to see. And I mean, like, we're really fortunate to be able to be that barbershop and to be that mainstream barbershop for people to actually come through and come get the desired haircuts. Because if you think about it, many years ago, Pat, this wasn't the case. You understand? I mean, like, if you tell somebody that what's the one place that you can go to anywhere in the country that you can get a consistent haircut. See,
an experience.
An experience is the same wherever you go. You see, exactly like how McDonald's replicated the quality and the experience at every store.
Absolutely.
Where is that place? You won't be able to, people will come up with names that you don't even know. You understand? So now you have this name that represents that thing across country.
Great, man. But also then you started an academy. Is that the reason why you started the academy, so that you can get that consistency going? The same way as the McDonald's, or is it Burger University?
Yes, the Hamburger University.
The Hamburger University. How did that come about? The academy side of things.
So the academy. So one thing that we've been doing is that wherever we open stores, the one thing that we first do is set up training centers or basically training centers in the locations. So, for example, if we are about to open a store in Soweto, we would look at where is the highly dense town area and where is it much more convenient for people to travel, and that's where we'll choose our training center. So the training center will be in a space maybe like this, a 30 square meter, 40 square meter space, and these will be pods across the country. So wherever we plan to open a store, this is what we first do. The first thing that we ever do is to open a center, and the reason why
you hire the locals,
and that's one of the main reasons, because somebody from the township that speaks the same language as the customer that's coming to the store, you want that you can relate to that person, you understand, and that was so vital for us in order to maintain that culture in the store. And what happened was that we saw this thing grow, and we're like, you know what? Let us move into much more of a professional space. If you look at the barbering industry, there's not a school for people to actually go through, get a skill, and start their own business.
So a lot of it is self-taught. There's no formal training.
And then we kickstarted we started our flagship training center, which is based in Johannesburg CBD. We got accreditation, and we decided, let us build something where not only the barbers that will eventually go into the Legends program, but also making it available for people outside there to also have the same type of training as the guys in Legends.
Yeah, man. Yes. I mean, 2023 was a big year for you. I mean, at the Top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards, you walked away with 2 awards, and you were the overall top brand or youth-owned brand in the country. How did that make you feel, man?
I think it was very humbling for the business itself.
Yeah,
it was definitely one of those things where you feel like you're doing something right.
Yeah,
you are being recognized by people out there.
Yeah,
and it's not for myself. I mean, like I always say, like I never want accolades for myself. I want accolades for the
For
business.
business.
because
And I mean,
the business
it is for the business.
Speaks for itself, you understand? And the business needs to get all the awards, needs to get all the praise that it deserves, you understand, because of the work that the guys put in on a daily basis. And I mean, like, those awards just meant so much. We actually went store to store with the awards. We celebrated store to store with the awards. We went out with the trophies. The guys were really excited to hold on to it. Wow. I mean, such an amazing thing. And you know what? These are guys that's on the ground, that's working each and every customer. Yes. They serving each and every customer to the best of their abilities, and for them to be recognized for this,
absolutely,
it says the world to them. Understand? So that's one of the reasons we took it out to the stores. Wow. Had a hype at all the stores, and it was amazing.
Amazing, man. Because I mean, obviously, that's what we started the awards, to recognize brands, not the individual, not the founder, just celebrate the creation. Which is the brand in this case, and it's just humbling also to hear that you went on a tour with it. I saw some pictures on LinkedIn and also on Instagram of you with the team, and just excitement.
It's all about the team. It's all about the guys. It's all about the guys. It's all about them putting in the work. It's all about them understanding that what they're doing speaks towards something. You understand that it's not only about just the day-to-day stuff, but each and every customer that they serve on a daily basis, the way they serve that customer gets recognized because it goes back to when we talk about brands, and exactly like this, it's a youth-owned brand that has evolved so much that people actually recognize this brand as much as possible. To win an award for top service brand speaks amazing, and to win an award. The overall first prize for best brand in the country just speaks truly amazing of the type of work that these guys do on a daily basis.
It's amazing, and those obviously are your brand ambassadors.
Of course, those are the guys that's like they're like on it, they're like definitely on it, and those guys can either make or break your brand.
Absolutely.
Imagine that we have about 600 staff members.
Hectic.
600 staff members. Sure. So you can definitely see the operation that goes into that is a lot.
It's crazy. So you pay as you earn taxes. Is crazy, yeah?
It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. But it's just a blessing, man. It's just a blessing that we are able to impact so many people's lives.
Awesome. Have you had like people that started, with you early on and now are like sitting at head office?
Of course. I mean, like there's a couple of guys. It's like there's guys. The one guy, his story is he started out at our second store in Florida back in 2015. This guy has grown so much. He's actually the head of the training development. So he takes care of all the quality. He's that main guy. You understand? And there's another guy that also started out in Florida, exact same store. He grew into being the head of operations. So he takes care of all operations of all the stores.
When the boss, he's the guy.
Yes. So any operation technicalities around the store and stuff like that, it's very smart, very intuitive. I mean, like the one thing that I can say that Legends is blessed with is to have good people. And we have amazing people. Shout out to the people that each and every day. I mean, like these guys are truly a blessing towards the business, towards the company, and towards the people that we serve.
Amazing. It seems like Florida is producing good people.
Yeah, there's good people. Wow. So yeah, no, that's amazing. It's really amazing to see, and it's youngsters. I mean, like. I sometimes I feel like I'm the oldest in the room. I'm like turning 35 next month, and all these guys are like they're coming up with these ideas. These guys are so way ahead of their time. You understand? Wow. They just constantly try to innovate and try to challenge,
make things better.
The narrative, and it's really amazing to see. It's really amazing to see the young team that we have, and sometimes you think that it's a young and inexperienced team, but it's not that. These guys has experience and they know what they're talking about.
It's really amazing you saying that, because actually just last night I was at a corporate event, and they were talking about AMA 2000. They
Yes.
say these people are hard to work with.
Yes.
And I mean, it's just refreshing to hear you say the things that you're saying in terms of, most of your team members being, innovative, being, proactive and just wanting to challenge the status quo in a positive way, not for the sake of it.
In a positive way. And if you look at the youth of today, the youth of today is not scared to challenge what has been done previously. They're not scared to raise their voice and say, we hear you, things have been done like this in the past, but what if we take this direction? What if we are able to try this thing? You understand? Will it create a different result, or are we just working towards the same thing over and over? And sometimes you have to think about it. You have to analyze it and say, you know what, maybe come and try it and come and see how it goes. And they're willing to take full responsibility for it. And that's amazing. It's truly amazing to see the type of youth that's coming out. You understand? Yeah. And most of the time, people look at these guys as like, these guys, they don't last in a job. These guys, they only work a couple of months. They only do this. Then it's hardly the case. It's hardly the case. I mean, you have to be able to understand where they come from. These guys are not the 1980s, 1970s guys. Stay in one job for the whole 10 years, 20 years. Yeah. I mean, if somebody is able to come into your company for 6 months and transform and come up with great ideas and leave, having to have an impact on your company, I mean, that's valuable.
To win,
it's valuable. You understand? And I mean, you have to look at it in that way. These guys are not concerned about pension funds. Don't tell them about pension funds. Don't tell them about retirement stuff. They don't worry about it. You understand? So it's very interesting to see where we're going to. I mean, recently I went to China. I went to China. I just came back on Saturday.
You did the Great Wall of China.
No, it was yes, I did a hike, but it was one of the highest mountains in China. Wow. Yeah, it was one of the highest mountains. But while I was in China, and one thing that stood out for me was the youth people's drive to want to just grow and become and basically change the narrative, because the youth people, the youth are working. You understand? Sure. I mean, like these guys are not scared to work late at night, early in the morning.
Energy for days.
They have energy for days. You understand? These guys are really out there. You don't have to tell them about the 9 to 5, because they go beyond and over that.
Sure.
And that was really amazing to see, especially in China, that these things are possible. I mean, they're not bound to office. They can do business wherever they are. You understand? They reply to customers wherever they are, and these are the things that us as business people have to confine to, because now you can't box somebody in the office and just tell them, I need you to be here, I need X, Y, and Z. But not understand.
Don't say that, my team is watching.
But things have changed. Things have definitely changed. And I'm excited to see what the future holds. If you look at the next couple of years, what holds for the youth as well. It's really exciting to see what's coming up.
Talking about the future and what's coming up, we're obviously wrapping up 2023. Yes. You had a good run. You've won awards. I mean, the brand has won awards, and you've opened in Zambia.
Yes.
How does 2024 look like?
Yes, I can say the reflection of 2023 was really amazing. And not only have we won Yoba Awards, but we won multiple awards for the brand. We've been listed in our product line has really taken off.
Amazing.
We are listed in 3 major retail outlets.
Can name them so that people can go get some Legends Barber?
Yes, Discam, Spa, and Clicks as well. It's just truly amazing to see how the product line as well has been able to evolve and take off. And 2023 has been the year for the products, and that's something that I've seen happen. I would say that looking into 2024, I'm really excited for what's to come. You understand? I'm excited for.
You're not gonna be youth.
Yeah, I want to be a Madala. I want to be like, But I'm truly excited for the things that we want to introduce. Some of the things that we introduce is man weaves for guys. You understand?
Man weaves. Oh my goodness! Someone with bald head. so you know it when I have hair.
Yes.
Hey, there'll be a high chance that I'm
there's
from Legends.
yeah. And guys are coming out now with waves. That's the air waves. That's going. It's going to be there. It's like these things are already. So the training center has been a R&D for all of these things coming into place. So that's something that we're looking forward to. That people are excited for. And I mean, you've seen it happen, especially in our country. Hair loss is a major problem. And how do we
What do you think is the cause?
There's different causes to it. Alopecia is evident. If you look at it, some people would definitely backtrack it to their forefathers because that also says something about that. But there's many factors towards it. You understand? It's either malnutrition, for example, as well. You're not eating the right food. So there is factors involved into.
I remember people eating dog food.
Yes. Trying to grow their hair.
There's
like tablets and stuff like that.
So don't worry, you can get a weave.
Yes, you can get a weave. So that's
I can just imagine someone on that on the other corner, a man at Golden City, and the wind just blows up. Oh my goodness!
No, it's crazy. It's crazy. So that's exciting. It's really exciting to see the services that we introduce. So man weave is one of them. The next thing is so if you look at what Legends is tapping into is trying to solve the problems. So the problems is baldness. You understand? And basically we came around the table and said, how do we tackle these problems? Man weaves is one of them. There's another thing called scalp pigmentation. Scalp pigmentation is basically it's like a tattoo, but using hair look-alike follicles. So basically you're able to tattoo your hairline, tattoo your hair. So for example, if you don't have hair here, and your hair is short, you are able to look like you have hair. You understand? For the guy that's not
already bald,
looking to put in a weave, that doesn't want that, so he's looking for this a permanent solution, but it's willing to keep his hair short. Scalp pigmentation is going to be the thing that we're going to introduce.
Some of us are coming. We're gonna make those appointments.
And then finally the one thing that we will be launching in 2024 is a Legends hair clinic.
Wow!
So the hair clinic is so I've been to Turkey and I've done.
Oh yes! Oh, I know. Hair implants is massive in Turkey.
Yeah. So I managed to check what they're doing, how this works, and I'm excited to say that next year definitely we're going to introduce the hair clinic. So the hair clinic is going to be something that we're going to do. It's something totally different from the barbershop because now you're moving into a space where you have doctors, you have
specialists,
practitioners, you have people that's working on you understand. So it's a cosmetic surgery procedure. And that's really something exciting that I'm looking towards, and I definitely believe that that all of these things will take off in 2024.
Amazing.
The one thing, and I mean, like we had this conversation earlier, and I mean, there's I feel like once I stop all of these things coming to our mind, and once I stop all of these ideas and stuff like that, then I might as well just call it a day. But right now, while the energy is there, while I'm able to come up with to always think of innovative ways of trying to serve people, I think that's something that keeps me going on a daily basis.
Amazing.
And it goes beyond just the money in the bank. It goes beyond just how many things that you're able to acquire. It goes now to each and every single person. How are we able to impact their lives?
Amazing. Before I let you go, man, obviously you also you launched the VIP Legends Barber in Cape Town. Yes. How's it different from the other Legends?
Okay, so the VIP, like most of the time we have a sort of a prestigious customer that comes into our store.
Yes.
And these people don't want to wait in the queue like like I'm at 2000s, like waiting for 2 hours, 3 hours. And the VIP service, how this came about was that we need to create something specifically for these people. So somebody that has the disposable income that's willing to spend a bit more, mind to
paying.
spend, and they get all of the services, not only because
they get a glass of champagne.
There's champagne, there's whiskey, there's the whole treatment. You understand? From being able to do your nails to being able to do facials to doing pedicures and all of these things. Facials, I said facials, and basically it's much more tailored to grooming. You understand? Grooming, the overall grooming of men. And I think that's what the VIP is all about.
So for now, you only have one?
No, there's a couple. There's a couple. So VIP stores, we have, can I count? The first one was Menlyn. So Menlyn Waterfall, we made a VIP. We have one in East Rand Mall is a VIP. We have Durban Garden Road is a VIP. Gateway is a VIP. Oceans and Cape Town. So it's about seven. It's about
seven VIPs.
Yeah, 7 VIPs. And it's much more tailored to a much more premium customer.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously,
judging by the locations, you can tell that these are people that do not mind spending at all. So this wouldn't be the Pattern Brands podcast if we don't test your knowledge of brands. So we've got a young quiz.
Yes.
You know, and if you get an answer right, you get a pat.
Yes.
If you obviously get it wrong, you get a slap. So we don't know which one. Hopefully you get a pat, all right? So what is the name of the South African artist? Question 1. So 5 questions in total. What is the name of the South African artist that partnered with Porsche the year before last in 2021 to deliver a unique Porsche 911 Carrera Coupe? South African artist. Is it Boni Njali? Is it Nelson Makamo? Or Gerard Sikoto?
It's Nelson.
You get a pat.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then, how many car brands are under or are owned by the VW Group?
Oof, it's a lot.
Is it 7? Is it 10? Or is it 12?
I would go for 12.
You get a pat. you know your story, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, which brand has the tagline, wear your crown? Is it Drip, Tepo, or Mo's Crip?
Tepo.
You get a pat. All right. Which township is Delivery Speed from? You know Delivery Speed?
I know him. It's my friend, that one.
Is it from Mamelodi, Hammanskraal, or Tembisa?
Mums.
You get a slap.
Oh, man.
And you know, he was on the podcast earlier on this week. So,
what?
yeah, hey, he's going to be disappointed.
Goody. Sorry about that one.
Who's the founder of Discovery Health, not Discovery, the channel?
Yes.
Is it Louis Dipinar? Is it Paul Harris? Or is it Adrian Gore?
It's Adrian Gore.
Adrian Gore is correct. You get a pat. So 4 out of 5. Well done, man. You did well, eh? You did very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, any parting shots? Anyone who wants to engage with you, say, I've got an idea, or I want to buy a franchise, or, you know, I want to be... I'm sure you're getting a lot of requests to be a mentor. You know, how can people reach you?
Yeah, I think I'm available on socials.
Yeah,
I'm not as active as I would love to be. I mean,
you're a busy man.
Much more on the busy side of things. So, but I have my LinkedIn. It's Sheldon Tatchell on LinkedIn. Instagram is Legend_Sheldon. Facebook is Sheldon Tatchell, and those are the platforms that you can definitely find me on.
Great.
If you're looking to contact me directly, our office, if you just Google Legends Barbershop head office, you can definitely get in touch with office staff, and they can follow the necessary procedures. If you're looking at the franchises, there's an application form on our website that you can fill in. It's www.legends-barber.com, and you can definitely just fill in the application form, and we can take it from there to see
Fantastic. I want you to look into the camera
Yes.
and give one advice to a young person that's watching this.
One advice.
Yeah,
Okay,
into the camera.
of course. I think one thing that I wish I knew many years ago that I know now, the power of having a championship mindset. And as a youngster, I feel if you want to achieve anything that you put your mind to, you have to be able to have a championship mindset. And when I say championship mindset, is being able to forget what happened in the past, whether it's failures or whether it's even successes. Focus on the new day, the new challenge that arises, and treat each and everything as new, because that will be the determining factor of how you're going to succeed in life.
That's why you are a legend, man. Thank you so much for that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We appreciate those. Also, give us suggestions of guests if you want to see someone on this podcast, someone that you want to hear their story. Do reach out to us through our social media pages, Patron Brands, across all major social media platforms, and would gladly, respond and reach out to those people and have them here. Legends, Sheldon, thank you.
So people call me legend. It's normal, yeah.
Thank you so much for making the time again. You could have been spending time with your wife and kids, your son, or you could have cut another head. But you chose to be with us here, so truly appreciate it, man. And all the best with all your plans for 2024. Cannot wait what the brand will do in the coming year and years to follow. So yeah, man, keep the fire burning. From me, Pat Mahlangu Geti, ina khailale.
Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.